All right, y'all, welcome back. Second attempt. Let's see how this goes. How's the connection, y'all? How's the connection? Am I buffering? Am I good on your end? Let me know in the chat. Appreciate y'all joining. Today is Sunday, September 14, 2025. We are almost in the fourth quarter. We're almost there, y'all. So let's continue to push through and let's continue to finish. What's up, Lawrence? Shout out to you. What's up, Shep? Good to see you again. All right, everything seems better, flowing. All right, cool. Yeah, man, I had to do some troubleshooting over here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tap into the Patreon if y'all want to learn how to day trade. If you want to learn how to day trade, you want to learn some strategy, some concepts, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Cool. Okay, I appreciate it. Let me get a quick roll call. I want to shout out where everybody's from, acknowledge everybody, acknowledge everybody, see where everybody's streaming in and watching from. Make sure you shout out where you're from, city, state, country, region, whatever y'all want to shout out. Make sure you hit that like button. We just began the new week. So here about a few minutes ago, about 9 minutes ago, the new week of trading has begun. Shout out to Chicago in the building. Shout out to you, Lenny. Who else is in the building? Mondo. What's up, Mondo? You said, boss, what's good with you, bro? Thanks for blessing us with another live. East Oakland in the building. Appreciate it, Mondo. Shout out to East Oakland in the building. Oakland, California. What's up to Idaho in the building? Shout out to Idaho in the building. What's up, Lawrence? Shout out to Florida in the building. Shout out to my LSU Tigers. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Florida fan, we had to handle business this week. All right. We handled business this weekend. If you're into football or whatnot, we took them to the, we had to take out those Florida Gators. All right. So what's the sentiment been like, man? It's been real dry the past couple of weeks. All right, it's been real dry the past couple of weeks in the market. I feel like people are agitated, people are irritated. The market, you know, the sentiment. But to me, all it is we're coming to the close of the the third quarter, and we're setting up real good, I think, for the fourth quarter. So the fourth quarter should be exciting. What's up, Red Pill Awakening? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So let's come over here to the charts right quick. Let's look at some prices. And we're going to do a little following the money this week, because this week on Wednesday, we got some interest rate cuts. And that's going to be a big deal. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think they're going to do. They're going to lower the interest rates, or are they going to raise the interest rates? Are they going to lower them, or are they going to raise them? Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, tap in. So we currently got XRP trading at 303. We just closed last week's trading. So if you look at your charts, if you like the chart, you like to do TA, look at your charts. The new week just began here about 11 minutes ago. So we got 7 days in the week. I believe we're starting to turn bullish. So we're going to get into it here in a minute. We got XLM trading at 38 cents. All right. It just came off a good discount, still slightly at a discount. We got XDC trading at 7 pennies. HBAR trading at 24 cents. Let me see right quick. Yeah, we got HBAR trading at 24 cents. We got Bitcoin back up $115,000. Ethereum 4,600. We got Quants QNT $102. I know I picked some up around $99. Constellation trading at 33 cents. DAG, shout out to DAG. We got IOTA trading at 19 pennies. All right, IOTA might be a steal for some of y'all. Algorand, still another steal, 24 cents. We got ICP, Internet Computer, $4.85. We got Sologenic, Solo, 31 cents. We got Solana on the verge of breaking out. It's rallying real strong. $241. We got Flare, 2 pennies. Flare might be starting to set up for a breakout. So I don't know if y'all have enough Flare. You might want to look into it. Cardano, 89 cents. We got Chainlink trading at $24. Let's see what else we got. We got ZBEC trading at 0.004. We got Ondo trading at $1.05. We got SHX 2 pennies. We got Sui 369. We got VChain trading at 2 pennies. Axelar trading at 32 cents. Aave trading at 307. Velo 1 penny. All right. Do we need to look at some stocks? Y'all into stocks? Because I don't just cover crypto. We cover everything. We're going to follow the entire markets. So we're going to go over. Let's look at some stocks right quick. Haven't looked at the stocks in a minute. Let me see if I can find them on my chart right quick. We got New Jersey in the building. Shout out to New Jersey. What's up, Night Owl? 25% increase. Or y'all saying 25-point basis cut? SM, what is it? Smimo. Hey, family. Hadn't been in for a while, but miss you guys. Shout out to you, Smimo. Appreciate you joining. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all are brand new. Tap into the Patreon, all right? Learn how to day trade. Learn this skill set, because it goes a long way. What am I looking up? Stock. I want to look at some stocks. See what the stock market is doing, because if you don't know, the stock market just broke all-time high again last week. With interest rates being cut, I only see the stock market going even higher. So we got Apple trading at $234. We got Nvidia $177, continuing to go up. So if you look at the overall trend for most of these stocks, they're just going crazy. All right, they're going crazy. Very expensive. We got Microsoft $509, Amazon $228. We got Meta $755. We got Tesla breaking out $395, just shy of $400 per share. We got Google $240, hitting its all-time high. We got Palantir $171, still continuing to go higher and higher. All right, still breaking out. Let me see what else I got. We got the S&P 500, all right, breaking out $6,500. That's the index. We got the NASDAQ 24,100. We got Coinbase trading at $323. Coinbase. We got Netflix. Shout out to Netflix for holding the fight last night. How many of y'all watched the fight? Who was y'all going for? I was rooting for Crawford. And he definitely came through. I think Crawford is just as good as Floyd Mayweather. I think Crawford can get in the ring with Mayweather and give Mayweather in his prime a run for his money. That's just my honest opinion. I'm not a moment of the time or a prisoner of the moment. That's just what I see. I love the sport of boxing. But Netflix trading at 1100. Oracle 292. That might be another reason that Netflix is just going crazy. All right. Netflix chart is real crazy. Netflix is starting to do more than just streaming movies. They're starting to stream live events. They're starting to do sporting broadcasts. So that's a whole nother game changer for Netflix. Who would have thought that? Who would have seen that coming, where they're doing exclusive pay-per-view content for its members? Did you foresee that years ago? 10 years ago? I don't know if some of y'all seen that, but they definitely, I think they're pivoting real well. We got Walmart trading at $103. Broadcom $359. Circle is down $125. All right. So remember Circle 2 months ago broke out when it first hit the market. Now it's down at a discount. It went to the high of $2.98, but now it's at $1.25. What's up, Paul? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate y'all going. So y'all saying 25 basis pay, a 25-point cut in the rates. All right. So I'm over here on globalrates.com. Let me blow it up. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Over here on globalrates.com. What's up, B Rush? I need the Berkshire Hathaway A chart. You want to look at that right quick? Let's look right quick. Let me see. I thought I just had that pulled up. What's up? Shout out to you, B Rush. Shout out to you. Berkshire Hathaway. I know I just seen that. I just seen that shit pulled up. Let me see. Damn, I just had that pulled up. Am I tripping? I might be tripping. Yeah, I'm tripping a little bit. Let me see. Berkshire Hathaway. I know I got that somewhere. But how's everybody doing, man? Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all right? Subscribe to the channel. We're chilling on this Sunday. I'm not going to keep y'all all evening either. I know some of y'all got to get to your football, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get to that football, and me, I got to get prepared for the markets in the morning, all right? So I ain't going to keep y'all all night. I'm looking for Berkshire Hathaway. Let me find it. Where's that at? Stop Matrix 2, Crypto Matrix 3. Damn, man, where my charts? I got so many charts that I look at. Anyway, let me see if I can pull it up. Let's go pull it up. Berkshire. And let's go pull this thing up, man. Let's go pull up Berkshire Hathaway. If y'all don't know, this thing is $740,000, man. Insane. But it's kind of retracing, but it's still at a premium. So it's kind of down right now, but it's still at a premium. It's trading down to a discount at these levels. But I mean, how many of us have $740,000 per share, right? Come on now. If this thing can be $740,000, why can't crypto and XRP do the same thing at some point? This thing opened up back in 1979. When it opened up, it was sitting at $245, right? So imagine some of these stocks that are existing right now, some of these digital assets that are around $200. And then time in the market, that shit appreciates over decades, all right? Over the decades, look how much it appreciates. All right, that's the type of growth. For some of y'all, that's how early y'all are in some of these assets and some stocks. I could see Palantir and some of these companies being around for decades and just continuing to grow and grow. So definitely inspiration to see some assets have already done that. Excuse me. Let me see right quick. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Red Pill, boss, if all of these assets will eventually be tokenized, why would we invest in them? Wouldn't the ultimate thing be the tokenization. Well, I'm sure if you're already invested in them, they're probably going to allow you to swap into the tokenized version of them. If you're already invested in them, yeah, it still makes sense. It still makes sense to invest in them because all you're going to be doing is you're going to already hold a percentage of it, and then you're just going to take the tokenized version of it. So I think tokenization allows you to pretty much swap from one asset to another. So you currently can't do that because in order to sell these assets, you're going to have to sell it into cash, which triggers a tax alert. Once tokenization comes, you have the ability to pretty much sell one asset into another asset. So that's what tokenization does. And it probably does way more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no expert in it yet, but that's the beauty of tokenization. Right now, you can't do that. You got to pretty much go from one asset to another. So let me go ahead and pull up your favorite assets. All right, XRP. All right, let's look at XRP. Make sure y'all smash that like button, hit subscribe to the channel. Let me see right quick. You can see I got my subscriber count on the channel. B Rush, what if all stocks are tokenized and stock market is transferred to the blockchain? I feel like you're just gonna own the stocks on the blockchain. You're gonna be able to have stocks on the blockchain. That's what I see. I could be wrong, but that's just what I see. You're gonna just take the tokenized version of the stock. And I think the tokenized version of it gives you more ability to do more things than traditional paper stocks do. So you're going from a paper asset and they're just putting it on the blockchain. That's all they're doing. You're going from paper, on paper, you own stocks. And from paper, you're going to go to the digitized version of it. And by that is digital. By it being digital, you just have more flexibility to do other things with it. Stocks ain't going nowhere. Stocks ain't going nowhere. B Rush, you said you encourage everybody to touch grass and sand. Shit's going. That's why I ain't been on YouTube as much, B Rush. That's why I ain't been. I've pretty much been refining my trading skills. You know what I'm saying? I've been tapped into my individual trading and crypto. You know what I'm saying? It's a long-term thing. It's a long-term thing. That's why I encourage people to learn how to day trade, and that'll give you your fix for the short term. Once you learn how to day trade, that'll give you your short-term fix. But that's a sacrifice everybody can't make. And some people can make it. So, looking at XRP on the monthly time frame. All right, we got 16 days left in the month of September. Matter of fact, let's go out to the 3-month time frame. All right, we got 16 days left for the third quarter to complete. 16 days left. So within 16 days, I'm already going to tell you this candle is going to close bullish unless something crazy happens. This candle should close bullish. I think we're going to rally a little bit higher in the next 2 weeks, but I see us closing bullish. And then that next candle that prints, all right, I already can see it in the charts. I already can see it. Let's say we close very strong the end of the quarter, in the month. That next quarter will start the fourth quarter of 2025. That's what they're setting it up. That's what they're setting us up for, because the interest rates cuts. Also, y'all in the chat, how many times do y'all see them cutting rates this year? All right, that's what I want to know from y'all. How many times do y'all see them cutting rates before 2025 is closed? Do they cut it just one time? Do they cut it? Because we haven't cut rates since last year in the fourth quarter. Do they just cut it once? Do they cut it twice? And then when they do cut it, how many points do they cut it per time? Each time. Shep, you said 3 times. Paul, 3. B Rush, you said 2. I hope they just go ahead and just, you said 2, Lenny. To me, that's conservative. 3 and 2, that's conservative. 3 and 2 is conservative. But as long as they start coming down with those rates, I feel like the fourth quarter and the top of 2026 is going to be very bullish. 2 times 50 each. Oh man, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? 50 each. That's a lot of basis points. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, let's go look over here. Let's go to the I like to use this website called Global Rates. Let me see right quick. Yeah, I like to use this website called Global Rates, and this is where I go get the current interest rates. And the last time the United States, the current rate is 4.5. I mean, yeah, 4.5%. That's the current rate. So if we drop it twice, so if we drop it 50 each time, okay, that next rate cut will be 4%. And if we drop it again, it'll be down to 3.5%. So that's some significant cutting, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? And then that's going to be very bullish on the all markets, not just crypto, stock market, commodities, crypto, all markets. That's going to be very bullish. All right, very bullish. We haven't cut interest rates since December 18th, 2024. So last year, we've been on pause since last December. All right. Hopefully they don't bullshit us, because we never know what they're going to do. We never know. Like we know that we have interest rates announcements coming up Wednesday, but you never know. You don't know what the Federal Reserve is going to do. We can anticipate, we can expect it, but that don't mean they're going to do it. So I don't really buy into what they're actually going to do. It doesn't matter, because I got the skill set to pretty much serve my needs in the meantime. Red Pill, you think 3.5 is the bottom? Nah, I don't think that's the bottom, man. I don't think that's the bottom. I think I can't tell you, Red Pill Awakening, how much they wanna. Or are you talking about XRP? You talking about 305? We're gonna get into it, bro. Just calm down. I thought you talking about the interest rate cuts. If you talking about XRP, we're gonna get into it here in a minute. All right. Right now we're following the money. So let's do that right quick. Let's follow the money. All right. So we know, let's look at the economic calendar. We haven't cut rates since December 18, 2024. Now let's look at the economic calendar for the week. On Wednesday, y'all mark it down for y'all that like to keep up with the market in the news and whatnot. Wednesday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when they're going to announce the Fed rate, the rate cuts. Until then, up until this point, I see them holding the market into this announcement, into this economic news release happens. I can see them holding the market until the news release happens. All right, so that's coming up on Wednesday, the 17th. So what do I like to look at? Me as an analyst, me as a trader, me as a just an analyst, period. I like to look at the treasury market, and I like to compare that to the United States dollar. If you don't know, the United States is bankrupt. All right, they're bankrupt, so they have to go borrow money. And the crazy part is they can borrow as much money as they want. That's why we have a deficit that will never be paid back again, ever. All right, I don't know what the current deficit is. The debt. Let's go to the debt clock. And all these things tying together. Debt clock. I don't know how accurate the debt clock is. Who knows? We could just estimate and speculate. It could be more, it could be less. I don't know. But I like to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how much the debt is. The United States debt. Shep, you said 37 trillion. That's the current debt. That's because we keep asking the Federal Reserve for money. The Federal Reserve is the only entity that can issue the money, the capital. All right. When the debt notes, the treasury bonds are debt instruments. So we need somebody to purchase our debt because we have a big budget. We have a lot of military spending. What is this? No, I'm not downloading the PDF. Just show me the clock. Let me close that. All right. Sorry. The national debt currently is 37 trillion. All right. Appreciate that, Shep. The debt can, Putin alluded to it. I don't think I caught that one. He probably did. But look, 37 trillion. All right. Each one of y'all citizens, and this is all estimated, each one of y'all citizens have roughly around $109,000 in debt. Debt per taxpayer is about $324,000. The U.S. federal budget is in the trillion, so it's almost $2 trillion. The federal budget, but where our spending is in the $7 trillions of dollars. All right. It's just out of hand. Okay. It's out of hand. And then let's see. But they're collecting. Look at the revenue they're collecting from us taxpayers. All right. We're in debt. This is a effed up system. All right. This system is so effed up because they're robbing us through our taxes. All right. We owe 37 trillion from the Federal Reserve. We owe all this money. And then they turn around and they beg for it. They don't even beg for it. They just be like, look, we need this. Okay. The Federal Reserve issues it. So the United States sends over treasury bonds. The Federal Reserve is like, okay, here goes debt notes, which is dollars. So they're exchanging debt for debt. No value in this shit. None. It's a big game. It's a big system. It's a big scam. We're exchanging debt for debt. But because the dollars that we get in return are debt notes. The money, put that in perspective. When y'all go to work and work hard, okay? When you go to work and work hard, you're getting paid in debt. You're getting paid in debt. Like the paper dollars that you receive is all debt. And then they have the nerve to turn around and tax us. All right. They have the nerve to turn around and tax us on the debt that they need to pay back, that they never pay back. They need this for military spending and other things. So once you start understanding how this shit goes, it becomes very numbing. All right. It becomes very numbing. It makes you want to get out the system. It makes you want to just break away from this shit, because this is going to end badly. This is going to end very badly. All right. Very badly, regardless of how you put it. Now, what I like to look at is you can view all this from the markets. I hope y'all know that, right? B Rush, you said Putin said U.S. is trying to put the debt on the blockchain, which will flip it to a positive. That's the possibility as well. Let's see, man. Let's see. And I don't know. I don't know, B Rush. I'm to the point now. I don't have the answers. I'm tired of thinking about all this shit. I'm just ready to get paid, B Rush. I'm ready to get to this money. All right. I need my assets to appreciate, regardless of what they're gonna do. I'm just over all of it. All right. I'm over all of it. Eddie, is there a single country in the world that is not in debt? No, there's not a single country. Well, I could be wrong. Don't. I would say 99% of the countries are in debt, because when you look around the world, most countries have their own version of the central bank, and those central banks are holding these countries hostages, and they're also issuing debt to these countries. All right. That's why we have a International Monetary Fund. That's why we got the World Bank. All right. So these entities, we got the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. These are all the big players. And don't sit on top of that, there's the World Economic Forum and all these other entities out there. B Rush, you said, let me ask El Jefe. I'll get you the answer. For sure, B Rush, for sure. But in the meantime, B Rush, I'm just day trading, all right? I'm day trading. We over here killing it in the day trading, and I'm just numb. I need my money fast. So day trading allows you to make money real fast, all right? That's why I encourage people to learn this skill set, because when you learn how to day trade, because this is a big game, everything we're doing, slaving for debt notes, clocking in to 9 to 5s, which some people got good jobs, it's honorable, but when you put it in perspective, man, we working for you. At some point, life is like, man, I'm fucking 40 years old, 50 years old, and I haven't taken a break. I have not gotten a break, and half of my life is over because I worked the majority of my life, and I have nothing to show for it, and I'm ready to start living. That's what it comes down to. People ready to start living life, because you only got one life to live. And guess what? You spend majority of your life slaving, busting your back, breaking your back, busting your ass. And everybody in here deserves time and freedom to enjoy out the rest of their days. All right. That's what it come down to. We wasn't put here to slave and work like we doing. All right. We wasn't put here for this. We was put here to be creative and do other shit in life. But anyway, so what I like to do is I like to look at the U.S. Treasury bonds. So I'm doing it from a charting perspective. The Treasury, I'm looking at the 30-year Treasury. This is the United States debt instrument, the 30-year. And then below this, on the bottom, is the United States dollar, right? So this is for the note takers and the people that really want to learn how to trade. This chart at the top is the main instrument. This is the economy, all right? This is the economy. Debt runs the economy, all right? The entire system, the entire financial system, the entire economy is a debt system. It's a debt system. Get that in your head, all right? It's a debt system. So for the longest, for several years now, well, for a while, the US 30 has been consolidating. It has been consolidating. But here recently, a few weeks ago, the treasuries have rallied. All right. Anytime the treasury goes higher, the dollar goes lower. Anytime the treasury goes lower, the dollar goes higher. Anytime the treasury consolidates, the dollar consolidates. Do you see the inverse correlation? Do y'all understand that? That they are inversely correlated? Whenever treasury bonds go higher, somebody is buying those bonds. They're pushing them higher. So whenever somebody's buying those treasury bonds, the dollar shows weakness. So whenever they buy treasuries, they're flooding the economy with money. They're printing money and flooding it with cheap money, and they're inducing it into the financial system. And that disperses all throughout the economy, all the way down to your paycheck, all the way down to the street level, etc. Do you understand that? Do y'all understand it? Press 1 if y'all understand it. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me see my subscriber count right quick. Let me refresh right quick. 1 second. One second, y'all. 1 second. All right. All right. So y'all understand it. So, anytime the treasuries go higher, they are printing money. So they're putting cheap money into the economy. Now, the treasuries are going higher before a interest rates announcement. The thing in the middle that let me see if I can type this out. So you got the treasury notes and you got the dollar, the fiat currency. The treasury notes are debt notes, and the dollar is backed by nothing. There is pretty much worthless printed money. There's nothing backing this. So it's a debt instrument as well. And in the middle between these two things, I'm going to spell it out for y'all. In the middle is something called interest rates. Interest rates. And this interest rate shit is like a man-made construct. All right. Interest rates, they're like a man-made construct that influences the entire economy. Right here in the middle, they have something called interest rates, and it's based on percentages. And when they can lower the interest rates, they can raise the interest rates. So whenever they raise the interest rates, that makes currency more expensive to borrow. All right. Whenever they raise the interest rates, money becomes more expensive to borrow because, you got to pay it back with a high ass interest rate. So, your bank, your credit cards, your mortgages, all those things are impacted by the interest rates. When they lower the interest rates, money becomes cheaper to borrow. All right. So hopefully that makes sense for y'all. Press 1 if y'all understand that. Press 1 if y'all understand that we have the debt market, we have the dollar, which is the currency, which is the world reserve currency. So this dollar right here, this currency is the chosen currency currently that controls most economies around the world. All right. You can't even do trade without the dollar, international trade. You know what I'm saying? And most countries are going to want to choose the dollar because of its purchasing power, because of its status. So essentially, this dollar has been weaponized. All right, shout out to you, Eddie. Shout out to you, Paul. The dollar has been weaponized against other nations. And that's simply because you had a group of countries come together after World War II and say, hey, we're going to make the dollar United States the world reserve currency of the world, all right, for international trade, etc. And then, okay, Western nations also created what? SWIFT system. They created a system where they can do international trade and transferring money around. And that too has been weaponized. So the game is rigged. All right, the game is rigged. So let me explain this to you. So whenever the bonds go up, I'm trying to put it in perspective for y'all. Whenever the bonds go higher, they rally up. That makes a risk on environment because the dollar starts to sell off. And as the dollar sells off and money becomes cheap and they flood the economy with money and currency, people, smart investors, they take that cheap money and they invest into assets. They put it into assets. So whenever the dollar goes lower, assets go higher. Stocks, crypto, commodities, gold and silver. All right, those things go higher because who wants to hold a debt instrument? Who wants to hold something that is worthless? Corporations, companies don't. All this is good for is paying paying bills. That's all it is. That's all it's for. It's paying debt out to people, employees. It's paying bills. It's worthless. So when people accumulate a whole lot of currency, they want to go into assets. All right, physical assets, digital assets, real estate. They want to take this cheap, worthless money and go into other financial instruments. All right. So as the dollar starts to weaken, so I'm watching the interest rates. As the dollar starts to weaken, you can start to see things like, let me go out to the weekly on the stock market. And what I have pulled up right here is I have the S&P 500. I have the NASDAQ. I have the Dow. And as you can see, these are the futures contracts, by the way. But as you can see, they're breaking all-time highs. All right. They're going up as the interest rates go higher. As the treasury bonds are being purchased and they're going higher. The dollar is showing weakness. So money is flowing into the stock market and it's rallying. You got things like Bitcoin is starting to rally and break all-time highs. All of this is being done ahead of time before they announced that, oh, we're cutting the interest rates. They're already in position. They're already moving their money around. They already did it. That's why in XRP, how many of y'all took advantage at the cheap prices? Now we back up and we potentially not coming back. Do y'all understand that? You see the stocks rallying, going crazy. Let me see right quick. You see things like Nvidia breaking all-time highs. You see things like Amazon breaking all-time highs. Google breaking all-time highs. Palantir. These valuable stocks and these companies they're just continue to go higher and higher as people, smart investors, get money and they invest in these things. They're not wanting to hold cash. They rather put their money to work and put it into financial vehicles that's going to continue to grow because they're going to continue to print money and the money is going to continue to flow into the damn stock market and into crypto, into digital assets and into gold. Let's look at gold right quick. One second, pull up gold. All right, let's look at gold. So things like gold, if y'all haven't been keeping up with gold, gold is sitting at $3,600. By the end of the year, it could possibly be about $5,000 by the end of the year. All right. As they continue to print money continues to get cheaper. You know what I'm saying? People chasing dollars. Y'all going to work slaving for dollars. What you should be doing is going to work, getting paid in cash and transferring that shit into things like silver, because silver, if you got some sort of savings, you might as well save in silver instead of fiat currency. All right. Silver sitting at $42 an ounce. All right. I was back in here back in 2022, accumulating as much silver as I could. And silver was sitting at $19 just a few years ago. You could have got you some silver for $17 an ounce. And now that shit is sitting at $42 and is on the way to the all-time high at $50. All right. It's at 49, but it's going to go break that and go above $50 per ounce for silver. All right. Silver might not come back. Shep, you say he stacked a bunch of H-bar. Things like digital assets. We're going to get into it. Trust me, we're going to get into it. But what we're doing is I'm teaching y'all how to follow the money. If you don't understand, I'm teaching you how to follow the money. It starts by looking at the treasury market. It starts by looking at the bonds. And the bonds dictate the currency. All right. What I'm doing is what it's called is inter-market analysis, where you're looking at multiple markets and you're forming your analysis and your decision based on other factors outside of just crypto. Because a lot of y'all just focus on crypto. People talk about Bitcoin dominance as if Bitcoin controls the entire financial system. It doesn't. Bitcoin got to get its value from Federal Reserve printing and issuing currency. If they stop printing money, if they make money expensive, nothing is moving. They have to continue to, and most people, what do? Smart money, they like to hoard money. They like to sit on a bunch of capital and deploy it into assets. And if they control all the capital and it's not being dispersed throughout the economy, what are they doing? Laying off employees, all right? Big tech companies laying off employees, laying them off. You know what I'm saying? Y'all created all this tech and now they use you and now it's fucking, excuse my language. Now they don't need you. So they don't have to pay you a paycheck no more. And they get to keep all the cash and all the capital and invest into these assets. That's exactly what they doing. That's exactly what they doing. Make sure y'all smash that like button. If you're brand new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, all right? Help me grow my channel. Get the viewership up. Get the subscriber count up. All right, get the viewership and subscriber count up. But y'all press 1 if y'all understand that. Press 1 if y'all understand how to follow the money. I just showed you how to do it. This if you're doing it from a TA perspective, this is all you need to look at right here, how to follow the money. What is the treasury market doing? What is the dollar doing? What is the interest rates looking like? All right. If the treasuries go higher, the dollar will go lower. If the treasuries go lower, the dollar will go higher. If the treasuries consolidate, the dollar will consolidate. The dollar is the leading indicator on where money is flowing. I hope y'all know that. Hopefully y'all know that. The dollar is the leading indicator where the money is going. If the dollar is selling off real bad, like it's about to, I think the dollar is about to tank. And as it sells off, because they're going to cut the interest rates, they're going to pull the Band-Aid off, and the dollar is going to sell off because the interest rates are going to be lower. It's going to make dollars real cheaper. And that money is smart people, the smart, intelligent investors are going to put that money into real assets, like these cheap ass digital assets that y'all still see and y'all not taking advantage of. All right. Make sure y'all smash that like button for me. So smash the like button, subscribe. All right. 1 second. All right. So let's come over here. Look at XRP. 1 second. You say, so the dollar will tank? Let's go look at it right quick before I come over to the crypto market. And let me look at it. Now, is the dollar going anywhere? No, it's not going nowhere. But will it drop? Yeah, it'll drop. And what they're doing is they're going to be flowing that money into different things. They're going to flow that money. So let's look at the dollar. God damn it. All right, this is the dollar index. No. My bad. All right, let's look at the dollar right here. This is the dollar index. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out to the 6-month time frame. Let's go out to the 6-month time frame. All right. So you can already see the dollar selling off. It's selling off real smoothly. This is a 6-month time frame. So every one of these candles last 6 months. We have 3 months left in the year. And the first half of the year, the dollar sold off real cleanly. And now we're trading down to this candle right here. Y'all in the chat, what is this called right here in the chat? What do we call this candle? This down close candle. What do we call that? Who been paying attention? Who really be tapped in? What is this candle called right here? What is this candle called right here? This black down candle. Bearish candle. What do we call that? Who knows? Somebody got to know. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. What do we call that candle right there? Now we're getting into the technical side of this, the technical price action side. Nobody knows? All right, whatever. So this is called a order block, all right? This candle right here, that's called an order block. If you don't know, the markets are algorithmic. They repeat. Everything in price is not random. They repeat over and over again. So that's what I teach. That's what I do. And that's how I show y'all what the markets do. They're not random. Nothing about these markets are random. They repeat over and over again. Not a breaker, night owl. Not a breaker. It's a order block right there. Also, what is this empty space in price right here below the market? All right. What is this empty space right here? What do we call that? And we're looking at the dollar. If you're just joining, the dollar is the leading indicator of where money wants to flow. So if the dollar sells off, that's going to give a rally to assets. All right. It's going to give a rally to assets. So we got an order block. Shout out to you, Lawrence, too. Shout out to you, Lawrence. And shout out to you, Shep and Lawrence. That's a busy. All right. So these are draws on liquidity. All right. This is where I want to see price draw to next. We already dropped down to the order block and we rejected it. But ever since we rejected it, we rallied up a little bit. Now we traded back down into it. And in the next 3 months, I want to see this candle be bearish and come on down, especially if they lower the interest rates. This candle right here is going to be a bearish candle to close out the year. All right. Now from the 6 months, go down to the 3 month. 3 month looking real similar. All right. From the 3 month, let's go down to the 1 month. And on the monthly time frame, it looks completely different than the 3 month and the 6 month. So when we drop down to that 6 month order block, we dropped down to it, it used it as support and it rallied up just like that. It rallied higher and then we hit a key level. And then guess what? We opened up in August and sold off again for the dollar. Now we're here in September and we got 15 days left. 15 days left. And y'all tell me in the chat, what does the market, what's the profile of these consecutive candles? What kind of profile is this? From this high down to that low right there. What kind of profile is that? What do we call that? What do we call that? People that's tapped into my channel. What do we call that? Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. That like button, subscribe. Yep, shout out to you, Lenny. Market maker sell model. Shout out to you, Lenny. Market maker sell model. So it's an expansion profile. So the market does 4 things. If you're brand new to my channel, it goes into consolidation, expansion, retracement, reversal. So that's all the market does. If you can understand how to use pattern recognition, the market only does 4 things: consolidation, expansion, retracement, reversible. And what it's doing is it's seeking liquidity. It's seeking any efficiency, whether that's a fair value gap or a order block or whatever. It's different things and different tools that we use, but these patterns repeat over and over again. These markers ain't going nowhere. They can't hide it from you once you discover it. See, I'm over here red pilling y'all. I'm giving you the red pill, and it's up to you to take the pill or not. All right. You're going to take the pill or not. Eat the cake, anime. All right. Eat the cake. Eat the cake and see how you can start discovering shit that you've never seen before if you're brand new to my channel. All right. So we've been selling off, and this is a monthly time frame. We've been selling off for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We rallied up 1 month, 6, 7. So roughly in the past 8 months, we have sold off 7 months. 7 months consecutive. 7 months consecutive. And are we done? No, we're not done. I don't think we're done. I think we want to come down a little bit lower and drop down into this higher time frame area in price. But this movement, so for example, where the dollar is currently trading at, from this movement where the dollar currently is down to this area in price, right there, that movement alone it drives the market significantly. That small movement in price can push the markets significantly higher. We're talking about assets. That little sell-off right there, and that's not much, but because the dollar is the world reserve currency, that type of sell-off will put massive pressure on the markets. And then once we get down there, now we're going to revisit this sometime in the future. All right, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. All my streams are dated and timestamped, so it's going to eventually happen. But if we drop down to this level and somehow trade through that gap, I'm going to be looking for these levels right here for the dollar. All right, we got equal lows below the market, which is significant because there's a lot of orders down there. We have equal lows. So if they decide to drop the dollar down all the way, and it's going to take a while, it ain't going to this might happen next year sometime. But as long as they keep dropping the market lower, that's going to allow assets and prices to continue to go higher. So we kind of want to see that. For us that are invested, it's not going to be a good thing because of the debt. They're going to continue to, what it's going to do to the economy is they're going to keep printing money, flooding the economy with money, and inflation is going to kick everybody's ass. In order to beat the inflation, you got to have a lot of fucking money, all right? Excuse my language. You're going to have a lot of money in order to beat inflation. So as they sell this dollar off, you better be invested in something that's going to appreciate so that you can capture the liquidity from your investment so that you can have way more capital in the future. Because as they sell this off, things are going to rise, food prices, gas prices, clothes, expenses, everything is going to rise in price. So it's a lose in this system that we're currently in. It's a lose-lose situation. It's a lose-lose situation. And you got to be invested into assets, all right? Assets is going to walk you through the door. It's going to get you to where you want in life. If you're not invested into assets, I don't know what to tell you. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all joining. All right. All right, so I kind of lost my train of thought right quick, but let's see. That's the dollar. I'm bearish on the dollar. So if I'm bearish on the dollar, that's a risk on environment for assets. We understood that. So, and I already walked you through certain assets that's already moving higher, like the stock market. The overall stock markets are breaking all-time highs every other week. At least once a month, the stock market is creating a new high, a new all-time high. We've been seeing that for the past few months now. And it's going to continue to do that. It's going to continue to appreciate in value. So that means if you hold stocks, you hold crypto, you hold commodities, you're going to turn out good. But if you hold dollars, now you might have and a lot of y'all, check this out. And this is something y'all going to have to determine. Like, as I'm sitting here explaining this to y'all, that the dollar has no value, a lot of y'all are going to sell your assets into fiat because you're ready to live the lifestyle. All right. You got to be strategic and you got to be smart about what you're doing. We know as they continue to issue debt notes, they're going to devalue the currency. And a lot of y'all are going to devalue right into this currency right here that is losing value. So you might want to be very, very smart about what you're going to do. You need to start planning that shit right now. You need to be very smart about what you're going to do once you decide to sell some of these assets. Do you have a plan? Are you going to sell it and go buy a car? Or are you going to sell it and go start a business? Are you going to sell it to acquire real estate? Or are you going to sell it to take a vacation? You need to be figuring out what your plan is and what you're going to do, because you're going to sell it directly into some fiat. All right, you're going to sell it directly into fiat that's going to be losing value at the same time. Paul, so stock market is killing it. How long will it take to show up on crypto? Whenever they want to flow. So how long is it going to take? That's the wrong question to ask. It's when do they bring liquidity to the crypto market? Once they start printing more money, money is going to flow into the crypto market. That's the question you need to ask. Shep, you say you're going to use your gains for more gains. That's exactly what we're teaching over here in the Discord, in the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap in. The link is pinned to the comments, pinned to the top of the comment section. We're teaching how to, what I do is I teach y'all how to learn how to trade, and trading under a business. Learn the concept of trading, and that alone is one avenue. I don't have all the answers. All right. There's many ways to get it. A lot of y'all going to veer into DeFi, which I still think is need to be regulated before we do anything with DeFi. A lot of y'all going to veer into different things, but make sure it's the right things. All right. You got plenty enough time. Y'all got time. Don't get the wide eyes because you sitting at $200,000, $500,000 and sell it into some bullshit. September 17th. What's September 17th? You talking about the rate cut? Yeah. Rate cut. All right. So let's look at XRP. All right. So with that being said, I taught y'all how to follow the money. I told y'all how to track the money. All right. Tracking the money. understanding the system, and I just showed you through a a technical analysis perspective. All right, make sure y'all smash that like button. So we got 16 days left. 16 days left for the month of September. And let's drop down to lower time frames. And so far this month, they offered one discount and never came back to it. So once we close August, all right, once we close the month of August, we opened up and we traded down into this what right here. What do we call this right here in the chat? What do we call this? Y'all see me highlight this ahead of time. Y'all see me show you that, hey, this is what's gonna happen, and we did it again. All right. What do we call this right here on the monthly time frame? This is a monthly what? And they didn't stay down there long. They didn't stay down there long. Yes, monthly BISI. Yep. Monthly BISI, a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. All right. We traded down, dropped down into that inefficiency. And ever since then, we took off and we rallied higher. All right. So we got 15 days left. We got about 2 weeks left. What's up, Jay Manson? Let's go down to the weekly. So we highlighted that area. We dropped down. We took out previous week's lows. All right. And we sharply last week, in the past 2 weeks, we have reversed. And now we're showing indications of going higher. So y'all in the chat, what you need to have a weekly bias. What do y'all see this week? And now we're getting into more technical concepts. If you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn this skill set, tap into the Patreon. All right. We need to start the week. We just started the week, and we need to have a weekly bias. So all bias is simply picking a direction that the market will most likely go. So with that being said, what's your weekly bias in the chat this week? Do you see XRP going higher, or do you see it coming down lower to take out liquidity on both sides of the market? All right, Lawrence, you said higher. Shout out to you, Lawrence. Shout out to the 47 people in the building. Lawrence, you said higher. Shep, you said higher. All right. Okay, Jay Manson, you said expansion higher. That's what I'm going for myself. All right. Okay, interest rates announcement. Let's say they lower the rates. That's going to be very bullish. I just showed y'all what the money is doing. I just showed y'all what smart money was doing. I showed you how they're moving the money around. I showed you how the treasuries are rallying and the dollar's starting to show weakness to sell off. If the dollar sells off, money is going to be cheap. So they're going to flow that money into assets. And then for the person that asks, when does crypto happen? This is coming. There's going to be a massive tidal wave that comes into the crypto market. They're coming, trust me. Even if they got to sell their stocks, which I don't think they're going to sell their stocks. And we're talking about, when I say they, I'm talking about like BlackRocks. I'm talking about the Vanguards. I'm talking about central banks. I'm talking about the JP Morgans. I ain't talking about small fish. I'm talking about the big fish, all right? I ain't talking about small entities. We're talking about entities that got control of billions and trillions of dollars, all right? We ain't talking about the little people. We're talking about massive entities flowing that type of volume into the market. We're waiting for the volume to come. It's coming. It's coming. They can't be too loud about it. You said much higher? Yep, much higher. So this week, I'm anticipating us to move higher. I want to, at minimum, this is what I'm saying, at minimum, come up and take out the previous week's high. So last week, we went up to 318. I want to see us come up and take out 318. And let's say for whatever reason, we start breaking out and we start going higher. Well, my next level will be this high right here. That is 335. And you see, do you notice I'm giving y'all realistic levels? I'm not telling you, oh, $350 by the end of the month. No, y'all got to stop listening to some of these content creators. All right. They're going to mislead you. They don't mean you well at all. Also, check this out. What kind of candle is this right here? What kind of candle? We got if y'all went through my material, my content in my Discord, we got a 3 candle pattern right here. We got this candle, we got the swing low, and we got a candle to the right of it. What do we call this right here? This down close candle. What kind of candle is this? Who's going to get it right? Yep. Shout out to you, Lawrence. Order block. So that's a weekly order block, just like that. It has become activated. So we get the swing low pattern. We got a 3 candle pattern that creates the swing low. And then we traded up and activated that candle right there. We activated it. So once it becomes activated, now we just started the new week of trading. We can retrace back down into it. That's cool. But I want to see this used as support to go higher. It's called an order block, 30248. Let me calibrate it. 30248. And we could drop down into it and just spring higher, all right? Spring higher. I would prefer that. That'll be very nice. So I'm going to highlight that right there, save that. And now I want to drop down to the daily time frame, all right? So we got 7 days in the week. Y'all should know that. Basic math, all right? If you don't know that, you might need to get your GED or something. I don't know. And no disrespect to people that got their GEDs. Y'all just didn't get it. Y'all didn't understand at the time. There's a lot of people with GEDs that's doing real good in life, all right? Real good, real good. But at the time, you was a little slow. You couldn't get it at the first go around. But we understand, all right? We understand. And I'm just messing with you. Don't take it serious. So what I'm doing now is we're dropping down to the weekly order block. And then what I need to do is I need to go down intraday. Let's go down intraday. And I need to throw up my weekly dividers. I have not looked at XRP in details in a few weeks now because I knew what it's been doing. I didn't want to do no type of deep dive analysis. It's been a few weeks, so I'd rather do it now then. Let's see if I can do it now. Shout out to you, Jaro boy. You said none taken. Man, I'm just trying to make it entertaining, man. That's all. You know, don't take no offense. All right, nobody get offended. You know, we got some sensitive people in this new world we living in. All right, got a whole lot of sensitive people. Even saying sensitive might trigger something. I might get banned off YouTube for saying sensitive, so you never know. Shep, you said the joke was over your head. I can breezily. Hello, what do you think of Kita Coin? If you don't mind me asking. So what I do on my channel, if y'all brand new, if y'all want to send a super chat, it could be $1. All right. I never heard of Kita Coin. We might check it out. But if y'all want to send a friendly super chat, you know what I'm saying? I'll check it out for y'all. But right now we're kind of locked in on some of these. I never heard of that. First of all, Kita Coin. Have y'all ever heard of that in the chat? Kita Coin? That's funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? That's very funny. And then what does it do? What's the utility of it? Does it have use case? Me personally, I never heard of it. Kita Coin. All right, we in if you're new to my channel, man, we in a new era of things. All right, this ain't the play channel over here. We're not playing games. Everything we do is serious. All right, we treat this shit like a business. We treat our investments like a business decision. Every move you do, we thinking like BlackRock over here. In your own personal life, you gotta move like a business. All right, every dollar that you spend should be a wise spend. 11 million transactions per second on Kita Coin. That is insane. That is insane. Since you mentioned it, let's make it a little entertaining, y'all. Let's make it a little entertaining. Here we go. Kita Coin. All right. So let me pull it up. Tell me if you don't mind. Tell me the ticker. Tell me the ticker of it. We're gonna take some time out and acknowledge Kita Coin. Kita Coin. Y'all telling me it does 12 million transactions per second. All right. So let's see. KTA USD. Here we are. KTA USD. Jay Gamble, you said I make cornbread on the blockchain. That is funny as shit. I already know what you're talking about, but that's funny as shit. Kita Coin. Kita Coin, y'all. Kita Coin. All right. Never heard of this shit. It's currently trading at 75 cents. They say it does 11 million transactions per second. This has been on the market since May of this year. So when it opened up at 39 cents. All right. Very high resistance, very choppy. And it's only been around for a few months. You said the main network will drop in late September. Cali CPS, LOL, shitty coin, ha ha ha. Okay, Cali CPS. That is crazy. Cali CPS, that is insane. Are you reporting? Are you getting the children? Are you reporting adults to the CPS in Cali? What is going on? That is insane. The Cali CPS is in the building. That is crazy. Make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. So just looking at this, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to let's see if they got a website. Let's vet it out. Kita Coin. They are backed by my ex-Google CEO. They're backed by an ex-Google CEO. All right, Kita Network. Kita, where networks connect. So I like to do a little research, you know what I'm saying? I like to do my own little research. So where networks connect. Isn't that something like what Quant does already? QNT? But we're going to see Kita serves as a common ground for all payment networks and assets. First of all, let me just say, I like how their website is. Not saying that they're legit or not. I'm just saying it seems real slick, real professional. Key features: one network ready for anything. Move assets across networks. Kita enables interaction across multiple blockchains by acting as a unified layer for direct cross-chain transactions. Trade real-world assets. Create tokens to represent any assets. So they do tokenization. Compliance when it counts. So I like to see shit like this. Compliance when it counts. Meet regulations for traditional finance channels. No friction required. We're going to look at that here in a minute. If they're in compliance, then hey, scalable by design. Kita delivers 10 million transactions per second in 400 milliseconds. Settlement key to enabling network unified. Okay, let me see. Kita is orders of magnitude more scalable and efficient than existing solutions. Really. They got tokenization, built-in compliance. Kita Network provides regulatory compliance and digital identity verification by enabling trusted KYC providers to issue secure digital certifications for user accounts. These certifications allow instant verification across the network while ensuring privacy and maintaining high security standards. Decentralized marketplace. So they're into DeFi. So, all right. So the future of blockchain. All right. It all sounds good, but you know what I want to look for? Y'all already know what's next. Let me see resources. Now they in the white paper phase. What I like to see is where's their team at? Who are their people? Where's their people at? Let's go to X. Go to X. The world's most scalable blockchain. Where's the team at? That's what I want to know. Who are their people? Who sent them? Who created them? That's what I want to know next. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think about Kita Coin. Said play the video. I would, but the audio, I don't have the audio connected to this right here. Let me see right quick. Let me see.
Welcome to Kita Network, the blockchain that connects all networks. We created a unified platform for fast cross-chain transactions across payment networks and blockchains. Tokenized assets trade instantly and securely within Kita, with optional digital ID verification for compliance and trust when needed. With 10 million transactions per second and 400 millisecond settlement times, Kita is the foundation for a truly interconnected ecosystem. Fast, scalable, secure. Join Kita, where networks connect.
All right, there y'all go. So my thing is, man, okay, I get it, but what are they trying to solve? What's their niche? It seems like they're kind of all over the place because they're doing tokenization. They're doing DeFi. It looks like decentralized marketplace. What's their main niche? All right. Everybody can say, oh, we do 10 million transactions per second, or, we're very fast, we're compliant. What is their niche? What are they going after? And then also, where's their team at? That's what I want to know. Where's their team? Who's behind this? I can't see it on their website. So who's behind this? Eddie, you said it seems like they're late to the market. You're 100% right, Eddie. That's what it seems like, because guess what? You already got some juggernauts doing all this shit right now. A bunch of people. So what's making them stand out? Nothing on their website shows me that they're standing out at all. There's nothing that says, oh shit, this stands out. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And then I need to see your team. Where's your team at? You should be on your website. Once I show y'all everybody else's website, they're directly on the website. They're in white paper phase, all right? White paper phase, even though they're launching. And you already know when blockchains first launch, they're going to have so many technical problems in the first few years, to be honest, in the first few years. So just because they launch don't mean they're going to be successful at anything. Me personally, I like to see things that are already established. I'm not the type to just jump in, be a trailblazer, and be the first one to market. No, I want to see some establishment before I deploy my capital and before I deploy my money to one of these networks. So I'm not knocking it. I just need to see, if it's going to be something, I'm going to need to see a little bit more, because there's way more potential out here than, way more things that you can be putting your money into than something that is, what's the price of it right now? What's the price of it? Let me go back. It's currently sitting at $1.06. All right. It's not even launched. It has not even launched yet, and it's at $1.06. But y'all also know that DAG right now, who's working with the DOD, the Department of Defense, or the Department of War. DAG right now in Constellation is already partnered with the Department of Defense, and it's trading at 2 pennies, 3 pennies. And you're trying to put your money into something that it's not even tested, and it's at $1.05. I just say there's more. Where's the partnerships? All right, where's your partnerships? Who are y'all working with? Who are they working with? What niche? Are they going into a niche that's already competitive? ChainSpec approved the 11 million transactions. Also, there's a Google article of the 11 million transactions. I'm gonna need more, because I can't even see their team. I need more. Like, I'm on their website. Where's their team at? Who's behind the project? Or is it one of those projects that the community is creating? A community of programmers and coders are creating. But I appreciate your input, though. I appreciate your input. I took some time out on it. Now let's come back over and focus a little bit. I'll look more into it. If things start popping off or ringing, we'll look more into it. But in the meantime, I feel like there's better opportunity in the moment. Like, there's things right now that's already massive that are at very deep discounts. That's not at a deep discount right now, and they're not even launched to the market yet. They're not even launched to the market yet. So appreciate the input. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Hit that like button. So let me see right quick. We just started the new week of trading. It's Sunday. It's currently 9:18 p.m. It is the Asia session. That's for us intraday people that like to watch intraday price action. We're day traders. We understand that there are certain times of the day that the market moves. There's certain sessions of the day. And it's a Sunday, so we're not expecting much as traders. We don't expect much in the market right now. Sunday, and it's Asia. We have a big week this week because interest rates announcement. So the market probably could be held all week until they announce the interest rates. So I'm kind of expecting that. I'm not expecting nothing until FOMC and rate announcements come Wednesday. And some of y'all already told me, y'all see them cutting the rates 25, 50 basis points. Y'all already see multiple rate cuts throughout the year, and we'll check it out. So what I'm doing right now, I'm watching XRP intraday. It looks like it kind of want to sell off. And if it sells off, interesting. And they go out to the weekly. Go out to the weekly time frame. Come on now, come on. So on the weekly time frame, all right, this candle was just green moments ago. Now it's black. So it's Sunday, man. Sundays and Mondays are sentiment days in the market. So if you're somebody who likes to trade, you got to let Sundays and Mondays pass by, all right? Most of the volume comes in on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometime Fridays. What I'm doing now is I'm looking at this order block. I want to get the midway point of it because we could potentially sell down to that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find the exact midway point of this order block right here. Closing price 277.60. No. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Trying to get the midway point, and I got it right here. So the midway point of that order block is 290. So can we see XRP come back down to 290 and find some support? Well, we're going to have to wait later in the week. We shall see. We shall see. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing. Do not leave without subscribing. Make sure y'all definitely tag that subscribe button. So it's currently Sunday. We're currently selling off. All right. Currently selling off. And I'm not looking too much into it. We're just selling off. Let's go down to the daily. All right. The daily candle. Let's get a daily bias. All right. Let's get a daily bias. So far on the daily bias, we're selling off. It's clearly that we want to drop down, take out this low right here. We're already headed for that low. That's the low of Sunday. So let me highlight that. Drop down, take out that liquidity pool. And if we drop any lower, potentially drop down to this order block right here, this candle right here. And if we go any lower, there's a fair value gap right here. I'm gonna highlight that as well on the daily time frame. So we got levels if we start to go lower in price that we can pretty much see ahead of time. And if it happens, it happens. I mean, if you're not day trading, what you concerned about? What you concerned about? Or are you just tired? See, these are the macro movements in the market that most long-term investors can't withstand. The markets are going to repeat these same exact functions, and it's going to happen over time. So in order to get your fix, you need to learn this skill set so you can learn how to make money right now. You need to learn how to make money right now. Make sure y'all smash that like button for me, subscribe. So here you can see us drawing down to liquidity here on Sunday. Normally on Sundays, crypto like to sell off. If y'all haven't recognized the patterns, crypto like to sell off on Sundays. And that's that low that I just highlighted from Sunday. That's that low. And we're just dropping down. It's Asia. Nice little Asia sell-off. And we'll come back to XRP in a minute. Watch it go down to this level. We'll come back in here in a minute. In the meantime, let's see what else we got. Let's look at H-bar. Got a lot of people that like H-bar. All right, a lot of people that like H-bar. Looking very similar to XRP. We drop down to a discount. We're inside of a monthly fair value gap that's shaded in blue. All right. We drop down to the discount, which is below the midway point of this gap right here. And now we're kind of rallying higher. And I want to see H-bar here shortly and soon start breaking out. How many of y'all hold H-bar? How many of y'all hold H-bar? I want to see it start breaking out though. Just holding it. That's H-bar currently trading at 23 cents. You can't go wrong with a 23-cent H-bar, right? That's very cheap. Very cheap. Again, remember, interest rates expected to be cut. The treasury market rallying higher because somebody's buying up those treasuries, most likely the Federal Reserve buying those treasuries. And the dollar's starting to show weakness. Money has to flow into these markets at some point because these utility assets are very cheap still. All right. They give y'all so much opportunity. They give all of us so much opportunity. That's H bar. Let's look at XLM. Looking very similar. Paul. World Liberties also very similar sell off. Yep. H bar, my number 2 hold. Shout out to you, Eddie. Shout out to you. XLM looking very similar. Drop down to discount. All right. I don't know if y'all remember me highlighting. This is a monthly time frame. I showed y'all this monthly fair value gap right here in orange. We also got a larger one in blue. But yeah, we opened up the month. We traded down there, and now we're just holding. The entire market is being held. What are they holding it for? Is it potentially the interest rates cuts? Is it potentially the rate cuts? Most likely. Once they lower those rates, expect prices to start breaking out. All right. Start breaking out. We got a lot of liquidity resting above the market. Now is the time. If you don't have no XLM, make sure you're taking advantage of it, because XLM, once it go, it's going to be above $1. And then you're going to be like, damn, XLM over $1. And XLM is not going to be cheap. It's been cheap for the longest. All right. Been cheap for the longest. So make sure y'all tap in and get y'all some XLM. Let's look at XDC. Let's look at XDC. XDC is a slow mover, but you know what? It just dropped down to a discount. It's still kind of at a discount. All right. I mean, are y'all taking advantage or you're not taking advantage? Y'all in the chat. What is this highlighted area right here on the monthly? What is this highlighted area on the monthly? XDC currently trading at 7 cents. And it's at a discount. It's at a discount. It's actually at a steal. I don't know if y'all going to take advantage, but boom, look at that right there. We just dropped down into that area in price. That is called a fair value gap in the form of a BISI, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. We drop down into that. Anytime we drop down into that, that's your opportunity right there in that area to pull the trigger, take advantage. And we're using precision over here. We're using technical guidance, precision, concepts, all that. We don't buy when the market is going higher. We buy when the market sells off and comes down. We like to purchase when the market comes down, and that's when we pull the trigger, just like that. All right, so it's still slightly above that. It's still slightly above that fair value gap, and to me, that's still a good entry. That's still a good buying opportunity, because once we leave it, and we're going to refer back to this, once we start going higher, you're going to lose that opportunity. And then XDC is going to be, before you know it, it's going to be up at 15 cents. And then it's going to be up at 19, 20 cents. Well, you could have got it at 7 pennies. All right, 7 pennies. Zenfin, Trade Finance. If you know, you know. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin. At a premium, $115,000. Bitcoin ain't going nowhere. It's here to stay. All right. So don't get your hopes up. Stop trying to wish it go away. No, there's too much money into Bitcoin. Whole lot of capital. Whole lot of capital into Bitcoin. It's not going nowhere. It's currently trading at 115,000. You can see the current candle is starting to rally back up. I think Bitcoin is going to get that push, and it's going to go ahead and take out last month's high and go above $124,000. Bitcoin. I don't know nobody personally that has that kind of capital to buy this type of Bitcoin right now. But if you do, all right, at least get you one of them. Get you one of them. All right. One of my personal favorites. Let's go pull it up. Let's go pull up. I want to look at Constellation DAG. And this is what I'm saying. You got something that's very well established right now. And to me, it's still the biggest steal in crypto right now. They're not talking about it. It's the biggest it's the biggest discount in crypto, in my honest opinion. Unless, you know, there's probably other things out there, but to me, DAG is the biggest steal in crypto right now. Constellation. All right, DAG. All right, it's sitting at 3 cents. We were just buying it at 2 pennies. All right, with the information of the data. What's it called? The information of data. Yeah, the information of data. We're sitting at a discount. It's sitting at 3 pennies. I mean, you can accumulate 100,000 of these things real easy. All right, and just sit back and chill at 3 pennies. You can sit back and chill. We're talking about data. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about data. Everything right now on the internet that y'all consume today is data. Everything is data. We're in the tech world. I mean, we just in the tech revolution, and everything consists of data. And the phone you watching me on, the tablet, the computer, it's all data. And we're talking about the data blockchain right here, Constellation DAG, and they're working directly with the Department of War. All right, the Department of War that was just recently the Department of Defense, but I guess Trump is changing everything, just like the Gulf of the United States. All right, but you can't go wrong with DAG sitting here at a discount. Very cheap, very cheap. That's my favorite cheap discount asset right now. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite. And then you got things like XLM, HBAR, XDC. All those things are still very cheap. But DAG is the cheapest and probably has massive potential over everything else. Let me see what else. Went over gold, went over silver. We followed the money. We talked about the dollar. We talked about the interest rates. We talked about the stock market. Anything else y'all want me to cover, all right? I'm not going to be too long. I'm going to wrap it up here shortly, but anything else y'all want me to cover before I get up out of here? Let me look at crude oil. No, I don't want to look at oil. Oil ain't doing nothing. Shep, you said solo. Let's go look at Sologenic then. Solo. I mean, not Sologenic, but Solana. My bad. I be confusing those two, but Solana. I got Solana saved somewhere. Not out in NQ. We'll check out NQ, which stands for the NASDAQ. If y'all don't understand, we'll check it out. So Solana pumping very hard right now. So Solana looks to me, and pause. I ain't mean to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? Pumping hard. No. Solana is moving higher now. And it reminds me of Ethereum. It kind of reminds me of Ethereum, but Ethereum is moving higher. And Solana breaking out, man. Solana's leading the way right now. I'm sure. I mean, I haven't been on social media. I advise all of y'all to get off of social media. You know what I'm saying? For it ruin your mind. You want to be locked in during these times. You want to be real focused. And if you want to learn the skill set, tap into the Patreon, all right? Learning how to trade and just locking into just the markets. That's all you need. You don't need no articles. You don't need no outside influence. You just need to learn how to analyze these markets and let the markets, let price action show you the way, because it does it every day. Just like that. Casper. But Solana trading at 241. It's at a premium. I would not be trying to throw any type of capital in this right now because it's trading up at a premium. All right. The all-time high, we're not too far from it. The all-time high is 295. We're currently trading at 241. We can easily get up to that. It's been a very bullish. Let me see. Look at the monthly. Yeah, we done had pretty much out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 5 out of 6 consecutive months have been bullish, straight up. So 5 out of 6 consecutive months have been straight positive. It reminds me of Ethereum. Yep, it reminds me of Ethereum. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if y'all are brand new. Casper, Mondo. I think Solana Solo is going to go crazy. I think it can be do BNB numbers. Maybe so. Maybe so. We shall see. Only time will tell us what this shit is going to do. Eddie Casper. Let's go see Casper. All right. Casper is currently down at a discount. It's currently trading at 8 pennies. The all-time high was 20 cents. All right. So now it's down to a discount. The first thing that pops out to me is this BISI right here, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. I'm going to highlight that just to show you that this shit is down at a discount. You want to be a buyer when price is going down. You don't want to be buying nothing when it's going higher. You'll be technically chasing the market, and that's just impatience and not being disciplined. So where we're currently trading at is boom right here at this discount right here. It's currently down to 8 pennies, and boom, perfect opportunity. So if you're somebody who wants to look to get into Casper, I would say it's at a perfect discount. And it seems to be at a great opportunity if you're interested in that. All right. So nothing else to say about that. That's at a discount right there. At a discount. If you've been holding this or you've been chasing it and buying at premiums, then guess what? You're going to have to wait for it to come back up to a premium. All the market does is consolidation, expansion, retracement, reversal. It goes from a premium to discount. It goes from It looks to seek liquidity and inefficiencies in the market. All right. Let me see what else. NQ. So let's look at NQ right quick, which stands for the NASDAQ. I'm looking at the futures market. If you want to learn how to day trade, click the link in the description, tap into the Patreon. All right. Click the link in the description, tap into the Patreon to learn you some fundamentals. Learn the foundation and the fundamentals of the marketplace. And let me tell you, the market ain't random, it's algorithmic. So as you can see, as the interest rates start to come down, as we expected, it's gonna be fucked up if they announce like, oh, we're gonna pause it again. That's gonna upset y'all again, right? If Jerome Powell come up Wednesday talking about, yeah, we're gonna pause again, that's gonna throw everything off because you don't know what they're gonna say. We can't say, oh, they're for sure gonna cut because we don't know. That's why they make us wait. So if he come out Wednesday and be like, oh, we're gonna pause it again, just remain calm, don't get upset. But because the stock market and the treasury, the bond market are going higher, that's giving me some indication that, yeah, it might be time. They're already pricing it in that they're going to cut the rates. They're already pricing it in because the stock market continues to break all-time highs. We just created an all-time high back in December of last year. And then we came up and we just keep stepping up. Paul, he said if they pause, people will panic. Let them panic. That's what they want. They like to cause chaos. They like to cause chaos and panic. So that's exactly what they want, Paul. They always think of the worst with these people, all right? They don't care about your best interest. They don't give a damn about the American people or the people, period. They're worried about their interests. The interest is going to come first. But as far as the NASDAQ and the S&P, this goes for the S&P as well, just continues to rally up and up and up. That's why you see the stock market like Google. You start to see stuff like Netflix, all these different Palantir, all these things are going higher and higher based on the futures markets, based on the indexes. As they raise the indexes, stock market goes up. All that cheap money, all that cheap capital flowing directly into the stock market, just like this. So all it's doing is rallying. All right. And us in my Discord, in my Patreon community, we're finding opportunities, day trading every day in these conditions. All right. Right now, the market is expanding higher. So a lot of the times our bias is bullish for each and every week. We just opened up the new candle. Now for night owl, I'm not expecting much until Wednesday. All right. I'm not expecting much until Wednesday. Maybe some scalps here and there. But come Wednesday, I mean, my bias is bullish. I could see it continue to go higher, but it's getting real risky right now trying to chase price higher and higher. I would prefer some type of, I'm going to remain bullish, but I'm going to be looking for some scalping opportunities short because we're just overextended yet again. No real deep retracements, no real sharp sell-offs like we seen right here in February where we just sold off just like that. So from February all the way to April, we sold off of this year. And then we rallied back up higher just like that and broke all-time highs yet again. Just like that. And the all-time high was right here back in December 2024. That sell-off occurred. And then sometime later in the year, we reversed and went bullish again. So I would prefer some type of sell-off like this again, or they're going to continue to push it higher. So we shall see. All right. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. All right. Tap into the Patreon if y'all want to learn how to trade. Click the link in the description. All right. I do mentorship. I got lessons. I coach. So make sure y'all tap in with me. Tap in with me. Anything else before I get out here? Let me go double check XRP one more time. Oh, look at that. Boom. Just like that. That's how you know the market is bullish. So we walked away. We sold off. That'll been a nice trade right there. We dropped down to that weekly order block. We didn't take out the liquidity, but we dropped down. Weekly order block. This is a 1 minute time frame. And then boom, a shift in market structure. And this shit is very bullish. All right. Trade retrace back down. Fair value gap. Drop out to the 5 minute. Make sure y'all tap in. So yeah, man, it's very bullish, very bullish. I want to see us come up and take out these highs right here. I want to see us come up and take out these highs. And that's what I mean. So what happens when we start seeing these type of candles? What happens when, let's say I go back to a 1 minute. Now let's just do some imagination right quick. What happens when these candles are monthly candles? When y'all prefer that? Like, let's say this was the monthly time frame and these were all monthly candles. That's what we're waiting for these markets, just like that. All right, and that's coming. Everything that happens on this time frame right here, which is a 1 minute, happens on the higher time frames. It's just that the higher time frames take time. All right, what happens when we get consecutive candles that go up, just like that? All right, 17. What if we get 17 months of price action just like this? 17 months, which this is a 1 minute time frame, and these are individual candles. Each candle takes 1 minute, 60 seconds. Well, 60 seconds. What happens when we just think this is a monthly time frame and we see this type of price action? That's going to melt faces just like that. And those gains and those profits that y'all waiting for. But guess what? It takes time. That's why we day trade, because you know what? Day trading, these opportunities happen all day, every day. Day trading just like this. We're banking money. We're seeing opportunities. There's potential and opportunity every day. But if you're somebody who's long-term investing, you got to wait years and years and years for this type of price action. Because guess what? If this was, let's say, a monthly time frame and these were 17 candles, that would be over a year and some change. That will be a year and some change. Almost what? A year and 6 months? So if the monthly candle printed 17 candles just like that, that'll be about a year and 6 months, just like that. And that's a very long time to be waiting. By that time, a lot of people would have sold out, etc. And then let's just say this was the monthly time frame and the market starts to sell off like this in the current month. Y'all will start panicking and start selling y'all shit because y'all don't want those gains to come back against you. And then those influencers online are gonna be telling y'all to sell, sell, sell. I'm selling my ass. All it's gonna take is one influencer online to be like, yeah, this is my selling strategy, or I sold out of my XRP. And guess what? All of y'all gonna follow behind. All the herd. Not all of y'all, but majority of y'all gonna follow right behind these influencers and fuck around and find out the hard way. Shep, you say you might take some money if it does that? Oh, excuse me. Got to the 15 minute. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. All right, man. Anything else before I get up out of here, man? Anything else? I think I pretty much covered everything. Like I'm probably gonna go live a few times this week, especially after the interest rates announcements or during. We might go live. I might even stream some of that. We'll see. But just another light night. I'm already telling you, when Sunday, they're probably gonna hold the market up until the market is time to until it's time to go. But we all agree that this week we want to see the price go higher on the weekly candle. And I already gave you the targets where I want to see XRP go on the weekly. And then guess what? We're not even far from the all-time high. We're right there, okay? We're currently at 304. The all-time high is 366. So exercise patience or learn the skill set. Learn how to day trade. If you're not patient, learn how to day trade. All right, so everybody make sure y'all tap into the Patreon, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing, all right? Don't leave the channel without subscribing. Very valuable channel. All I'm doing is educating, teaching people how to trade, learn technical analysis, and improving their strategies when it comes to investing and handling their money, all right? So make sure y'all tap in with me. I appreciate y'all joining. All right, look out for me in the rest of the week, and y'all stay vigilant, man. I think